What's going on, YouTube? I'm Levi and
Austin.
And today is a good day. We are finally to a point where Yogi can begin getting his new heart transplant that's sitting behind us. I've been limping him along for quite some time. The original engine developed a bottom end knock. If you watched our previous video where we did some cooling system upgrades, we actually began to notice that we had some issues. Flash forward to last weekend. I actually used Yogi to load the cargo star. Watch that video. And obviously we kept the engine running throughout the time we were loading it to keep the battery up so we could use the winch. And he didn't really overheat to the point of venting, but it definitely stayed pegged at about 240 for quite some time. And when on the drive home, it was obvious that he was not happy at all. So here we are today. We are gonna do our level best to at least get the engine out, right?
Yep.
Okay. You don't think we can get it swapped in a day?
No.
No? Oh, man.
Negative.
Anyway, we're going to do our level best to get the engine and drivetrain out and get everything prepped for the swap. We are actually going to use our handy dandy plasma table as well to be designing some mounts dedicated to the Scout 2 platform. So that should be interesting. So enough talky. Let's get it.
Let's work. Clean.
Oh, smooth. Yeah! If you're watching, leave us a comment. I'm really excited to see what kind of fuel mileage we pull out of this thing. This guy was only getting 9 miles to the gallon, which the truck overall weighs 7,000 pounds, and really I can't complain about 9 miles to the gallon out of an old fuel injected engine. But I'm really excited to see what kind of fuel economy improvement we get out of this thing. You said what, 15 to 18?
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be stoked with 12.
I'm gonna say 15 to 18 on
I would be stoked with 13. If I can pull consistent 13 miles to the gallon out of that thing. So this engine was 190 horse. So that one, what did we say, 340? Was it 340 or 360? I can't remember, 340. I think the LQ9 was, was 360.
That's right. Yeah.
So we basically dropped in 140 horse, 150 horse. If I can drop in 150 horse and pick up 5 miles to the gallon, I will be content. So Austin's underneath, he's almost got the underside buttoned up. Drive shafts are out, fluids are drained. I am removing the fuel injection system and trying to get some wires out of the way. Front end's off. It's going well. All right, so we are an hour and 50 minutes into it, and front end's blown apart. Austin is taking the AC stuff off. We've still got to take the power steering pump off. All the fuel injection stuff is out of it. The shifter for the transfer case is out of it. We're literally just gonna drop the engine tranny and transfer case all at the same time. Yeah, our first stubborn bolt. One of the exhaust flange bolts are a little crappy. All the rest of them came out great though, so it's not bad. One bolt, we'll take it. So all in good fun, but this is a little reference to Mike Moore. Anytime there's anything wrong with an SV engine, Mike says it's simple as removing two 9/16 bolts, and we're going to show you which two they are. Go ahead and show them, Austin, what the problem is with an SV engine.
That one.
Uh-huh.
And that one.
And that one.
Then you just...
And a 9/16 inch wrench, and all your problems
disappear. Yep.
Well, so how much time did we have in pulling it?
2 hours and 20 minutes.
2 hours, 20 minutes. Still got quite a bit of cleanup to do. There's some hoses and stuff that need to be capped off from the AC, a few little bits and pieces removed, but the majority of everything that is in the body is going to be reused. End of an era. It's kind of sad to see this guy come out, but at the end of the day, I don't feel terrible because, as I said, we do use this vehicle and we are definitely making some improvements, not only in fuel economy, power, weight reduction. I mean, it's a win all the way around. I don't feel bad about it, do you?
No.
No. So, today, what I'm hoping to accomplish is to at least get the drivetrain setting in between the frame rails and looking like we want it to look. A couple of things that have to happen to make that happen. We're going to go ahead and remove the old hard mounts off of the chassis. We need to marry the engine transmission transfer case combo, and then we need to get it swung in place. And then that's going to allow us to do some cardboard CAD, transfer it to an actual CAD program, and then ultimately blast the designs out on our plasma table. I don't know how far we'll get today. I don't know what will exactly get completed. I think getting the engine actually in and supported under its own weight is a little bit optimistic. But nonetheless, I think that over a couple of different videos, we'll let you guys hang out with us until we get the engine and drivetrain completely in, running. We'll take you through the entire process and let you hang out with us. All right, so now that all the dirty work is out of the way, let's move on to something a little more enjoyable. I've been waiting for several months to actually make this drivetrain together, so I'm pretty excited. Let's get the engine off the stand. Let's get the transmission drug over here. Let's make things go together. All right, so we managed to get things roughly in position. We've got the 205 sitting here in the floor. We're gonna mate these things up. We took some blocks and cribbed everything up and nice and flat. The 205, I hope, is not gonna be too big of an issue with this. One thing I am definitely worried about is whether or not I'm gonna have to clearance the floor behind the existing trans tunnel area. I've measured this drivetrain and it is actually reasonably close to the length of the SV and the Dana 20 and whatnot, but this case is significantly wider, deeper, and I'm afraid that's going to be a problem area. I have actually had to clearance these before. We did a 4BT MV4500 205 swap in a Scout 2 years ago, and I definitely had to hack a bunch of the floor out. Now, I don't know the 4BT dimensions. It's probably significantly longer than this engine, so that could contribute to it. So I guess we'll just have to get this thing together, get it fit up, see what happens. So we managed to get the engine in there, super happy with the positioning. I was pretty sure that the time today wasn't gonna allow for us to actually connect and make the frame side mounts just yet. Just don't have the time. Again, I'm super happy with the positioning. We've got the engine located side to side. The angle is where we want it. I'm happy. We've got our headers mocked up, everything clears. So I think we can start designing a set of motor mounts. I did get lucky. I'm not gonna have to cut the floor, which I thought was gonna definitely have to happen. Now, we managed to push the transfer case up I mean, it's literally like touching the bottom side of the floor. I've got about a ½ inch of stick down on the bottom side of the transfer case, so it's not a perfectly flat belly pan, but I'm gonna call that a win regardless. The flat belly pan on a Scout is something that I always try to retain if at all possible, but I am gonna have to do something that you hardly ever, almost never see me do, and that's run a body lift. We are gonna put a ½ inch set of body spacers on this guy just to pick it up just a shade to get the floor away from the transfer case and to allow easy removal. I'll still probably end up having to drop the cross member and let the tail shaft down just a little bit to get enough swing to get it out and clear the studs and the output shaft, but I call that a win regardless. So I think that's all we got for today. I appreciate you guys following along in these videos. I appreciate the time you spend watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, enjoy.